Hello and welcome to Thehayteamtv. Right, I've just been up collecting eggs for the chicken shed. I'll get the chicken shed next time. I actually forgot. I decided to do this on a bit of a whim from where I am. Now, the other day, we had 2 toppers on 2 tractors. Reason being, and some of you are going to be like, oh God, sacrilege again, because what we did with 2 fields to reseed them, well, we also topped all the borders. So because we don't have a lot of stock anymore, we can get things like blackthorn and stuff shoot up in the hedge lines and basically crap. So this cleans out the side of the field that we can then cut all the way to the edge without having any crap in the field. Now, I know what you're thinking, oh, that looks really quite long, but the recovery rate after you top something is quite spectacular, is the word I'm going to use. So that's what we topped. We topped this over a week ago, and then that is what we knot. Now, what few little things you get when you top it, it suddenly gets a lot thicker. If you come out here, it's a little bit sparse in places, partly because, if you look down there, partly because obviously we have had not a huge amount of rain. It should be thicker in this. There is a chicken shed, so I'm not trying back up there. I'll do that next video. Now, those chickens have been netted over winter because obviously bird flu concerns. And then the top part they've been on, which is dark green, which is great. So my theory is working. Now, before everyone sort of gets on the whole bird flu thing, now pheasants weren't housed and brought indoors. My thing with the chickens was we didn't have anywhere suitable for them to be all winter, which would be fair on the bird. There'd be like, you know, a bit of an animal right issue if we just stuck them in one of our sheds. So we decided we would net the top of them so they're just in their outdoor mobile pen, and they're happy as Larry, which you'll see in the next video. Also, if I put them in, I wouldn't have had all the nitrogen go down the ground, which was the whole point of getting in the first place, not just getting the eggs. But on another thing, I don't know what chicken this came out of, right? Look at the size of that brown egg. He's a monster. And then he came out of an ostrich. Not a chicken. Well, I'll get another brown one. Like, brown comparison. She must have been sore in the morning. Do you know what I mean? That is a huge egg. So, yeah, they're laying well. We have got to make a bit of a redevelopment on their laying boxes, because their laying boxes, we're not getting quite clean eggs, so I want to sort that out so there's less labour involved, because we have to wash a lot of eggs at the moment, which is starting to get a bit tedious. But if I just turn you around now, the borders are blending in. So quite often we found to, like, if we want to put like green manure down, topping like springtime or late spring isn't the end of the world, because you get the heat. If you've got enough rain, it's great, and the growth retake, because you just fed the grass back to the grass, is like absolutely fantastic. A adjusting boo-boo for this winter. So basically in this area, actually no, this wasn't me. My scarring's in another field. That's the corner where the hedge trimmer fell off the tractor, and that was dragging, that was the Merlot in wet conditions, holding the hedge trimmer up to get back down the yard. So actually that wasn't me, which is great, because I actually thought it was for a second. No, I scarred up another field. But scarring has got to stop one day. Now, this was my test plot pre-Christmas. So this, I don't know if you can tell the difference at the moment. This field, we do run up across this field with RTV quite a lot, but this had no chickens and no dung, and then this had chickens and compost. And as you can see, I am currently walking knee height, and it just sort of, it gets thicker from where they started to when they finished. But the chickens are acting as a few little beneficiary factors. They are adding nitrogen obviously, but they're acting like little chain harrows. So anywhere we've had clumps of dung, anything like that, they break a whole lot up, which is great. And it's getting to the point now that we're starting to nearly sell all the eggs. Hence why I bought a second trailer to basically do up and make another one. And if we get round to make, or if I get round to make another one, my sister's other half, brilliant, basically, because it's not free range. I'm not sort of running the whole free range crap. We're calling it pasture raised because they're moved from a new plot every single day. So we're calling it pasture raised chicken eggs rather than free range chicken eggs, because they're always on fresh luscious grass and not in the same place. But again, that is a little experiment which is currently going well. And yes, I know I've had a bit of a chop off on old facial hair and head hair, so I'm a bit more aerodynamic, a little bit on the buzz, a little bit faster, maybe, I think, who knows. Anyway, I'm going to get to my next job. So whilst we were doing the headlands, and you saw in the last video, we had the toppers on 2 different tractors, so we could do more fields at any one time. Now both toppers are on one tractor because we're doing, well, this afternoon I'm going off to do reeds, some docks in the cow paddocks, bits and bobs around. So that's getting over area. The other way is because we just want to do borders and only want to do once around the border, we can split the 2 machines between 2 tractors. Now, something else that why that's happened is basically, even though that's still here, we've sold the power harrow and we've bought the rear topper. So that's part of it, because obviously we've just gone back, right, sod it, we're going direct drilling, fuel through the roof, fertiliser through the roof, everything's through the roof. We want to reseed, but we want to do it as cheaply as possible. So therefore, we don't want to be burning diesel running that in the field. Plus, that was going to be an experiment on its own, because we used to rotivate and then drill in behind the rotavator. And when we did that, we had a panning effect, which we wanted to see if the power harrow would have a different effect. And we spoke to someone that said you still do get a panning effect doing that. But at the same time of that, apparently power harrows don't really like going into absolutely solid like permanent pasture ground. Like, they don't mind going into like a 2-3 year lay that's been, you know, moved about a bit, but anything that we'd go into which hasn't been moved for like maybe 4 or 5 years, probably just end up breaking the teeth, pins, whatever they're called on them. So yeah, we've gone away from that and we've moved to that. So my next job at some point today is get that off to that job. First, I think I've got to go and help my sister's other half. So I haven't recorded myself because I've been harrowing steep ground. My sister and other half, but, you can see through their places, which is a little bit testing, I'm going to say, let alone trying to do it on the camera, so I just forgot that for my own safety. Now, I'm going to top in. These moo things are absolute animals. I can't go all the way through that down there because it's underneath that is rocks and stuff and it all tips away. But I am pushing back, as you can see, a lot of gorse, which is trying to take over. So one of the principles about getting another moo thing, yeah, I'm only using the front one at the moment, but I was using both of them down here and both of them over there, is to start reclaiming farm back. And gorse doesn't much like being cut. A bit like reeds. So keep on top of it and probably come over with some Roundup, just kill it off, it will go. I'll do a better video on this at some point, mostly because where I'm working is all super steep, and I basically don't want a video whilst doing that because I'm thinking and looking, and in there's like a heap of rocks, so that gorse is starting to die off, so at some point I'll burn it. There I took out 2 runs which open up this whole area over here, and on the other side of this field, which is super steep, I went up and down and cleared a heap of blackthorn that's been growing for maybe good 10-15 years. So this field has probably just got a good ½ acre bigger, just for clearing out crap. And that one there and the one on the front are evil. Well, they are truly evil. Now I'm going to go and start nailing some reeds. I'll do a little glimpse of the improvement of that over the last 2 years we've been doing this, for those that you've been watching. Then that'll probably be done for the day, I think. But I'm going to do that now. If you haven't yet done so though, please hit the subscribe, ring the bell, that'd be most appreciated. So any of you can remember the original video where I came down here and topped all this? There was none of this grass. None. This was all, every bit of it was reeds. Come through the thicker bit here. Like as I walk through it, you can see more and more grass taking over everywhere. So this is going to get blitzed again. Then I'm going to do the other 2 blocks, or bits in field blocks of reeds. Smash them all to pieces, because I don't know, by the time I top them 2-3 times this year, I really don't think there's going to be much left next year, which means more ground to cut. So, investment, freaking awesome. I just went through some blackthorn stuff a minute ago, and you know, it was like nearly 2.5-3 inches around. Absolutely trashed it. But I will get a better video of this thing going through like hellish stuff another time. But I just don't have someone extra to video me today. Or give me a hand with that. It's literally all me. And I am trying to get a multitude of little jobs done. You know, those days where you're trying to get, oh, YouTube hates me for that. You know when you got a heap of like small jobs you want to do and you just got to get through them all? It's one of those days for me. So I've topped various different little areas, been chain arrowed a little field for my sister and boyfriend, and helped reseed some areas which we can't get tractors into. I do a quad bike. Made some little alterations to the chicken shed this morning because I broke a bolt on it, and I'll explain that next time I go to it, what happened. So yeah, I'm just trying to smash through a little job right now. Now another awesome capability, use like a hedge trimmer. Only on the sides, not on the tops. But now a lot of these overgrowing bloody trees, so you can see me now, I'm going to go on this side of me, there's a hedge. So the front one's going to be topping reeds, the back one is going to be able to go at, the back one's going to be able to go at the trees and the hedge which is pushing in. Because whenever it's hedge trimming, reason this area is wet. Pop one down. If you notice, that back topper is getting pushed out. So basically, just take the edge of some of these bloody trees, which basically are taking the piss. And like this one here, lower it down on it. If anyone's not used a hedge trimmer or anything like this before, if you've got something big, you start at the top and lower it down, just wipe it up. Now I know there's a little strip I missed, that's because I pushed the back topper out. So my overlap is wrong. But I'll sort that out again in a minute. But now that is one faster. So one thing I can't do is like what I'm doing with hedge trimmer, which is you can push in a little bit harder. You can only push in with this as far as you want to go before you hit too much of the side of the tractor. So you've got to take it off in layers, if that makes sense. Starting to look a lot better around it. Just spin myself around, go back the other way. Like this pit area here is another little area of reeds, and again, I'd say they're nearly 40% gone now. Maybe a bit more 50-50. It's like 15% reed, 50% grass, rather than 95% reed. So there's one for anyone looking for a new method of getting rid of reeds. Just top the living crap out of them. And again, like, I know it's like 2 years ago we started, I can't remember if it was last year, one of you will have to tell me that you watch all the time, whereabouts I did the video. Also, I'm topping them pretty slowly, because I want literally max possible outcome of it being shredded up. Now the tree that I went through over a minute ago, I'm going to smash over the front one. That's the floor. But anyway, I'm going to get on with this. So you guys know what I'm up to. Hope everyone at Silage in Harvest is having a good one. And I think the fuel isn't affecting all of it too much. But I will see you in the next one. But before I say goodbye, if you haven't done so, please subscribe. That'd be most appreciated. Also, you can find us on Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, Twitter. And on top of that, it would be most appreciated if you give us a thumbs up. So until next time, see you next one.